Hey y'all, welcome to Simply Jan Homestead. Today we're going to talk about mastitis. No, not female or male mastitis, but animal mastitis. As many of you know, our dog Lily, who is a Border Collie Australian Shepherd mix, had 8 puppies a month ago. And last week, or the week before last, one of her breasts got mastitis in it, one of her teats. And so I just wanted to go over a few things and tell you about mastitis in a dog. Mastitis is a form of bacterial infection in the mammary gland. In female animals, it could be a cow, a goat, could be a pig, but in my case, it's my dog. And what happened is it got very hard and very, very sore for her. And eventually the tissue stretched so much that it busted open. And she now has an open wound. So let's talk about what I've done to bring healing to Lily. First of all, the first thing we did is we bought a silver gel, and I put that on a gauze pad and put that around her with an ace bandage. And thank you, Rob, at Real Life with Michelle and Rob. He gave me the suggestion because we were taping it, and I mean, we just couldn't get it to stay on. And then what we did is, instead of putting the silver directly on because it was so painful for her, we put it between two gauze pads and then wrapped it so the silver would slowly leach into the wound and not be so hard on her and painful. Because we're talking about an open wound, and it's probably about that big. So then we had nursing puppies, 8 nursing puppies, and they were wanting to get on that teat, but there was nothing there, and they were going into the wound. So that forced us to make a decision. First of all, we took her to the vet. He put her on antibiotic. And he explained that there's really no rhyme or reason to mastitis. Some dogs get it and some don't. All the puppies were nursing on that breast. So we were just dumbfounded why it even happened. And then what happened is we brought her home, and she was taking aspirin twice a day to relieve some of the pain. And we gave her a good bath, kept it washed over, and washed out real good. It's so important to keep that wound clean. And we put a warm compress on her wound, which relieves pain for the dog. The other thing that I would do is I would take diluted peroxide and put it on a soft washcloth and gently press it up against the wound. That helped a lot, and that made me feel better that we were getting any leftover bacteria out of that wound. And it's a general misconception that dogs have the cleanest tongues in the world, but the truth is their tongues are loaded with bacteria. And so, the dog licks the wound and reintroduces bacteria. So in the process, as you're healing your dog from mastitis, you want to make sure that you're on it, that you're cleaning it and sanitizing it all day. So over the weekend, Lily had another break right next to the one she already had. And I called the vet this morning, and they told me to use a sugar compound, a press. So what you do is you take sugar Uh, we're using organic sugar. I'm sure it doesn't really matter. But you make a compound with it and you press that on there and then let it sit for 5 minutes. You can also use a cabbage leaf and wrap that around the wound. And I again would suggest the ace bandage because it worked beautifully for about 5 minutes.